It's the Cardinals on Fox Sports Net. By the slimmest of margins, Cardinal slugger Albert Pujols beat out Todd Helton last season for the National League Batting Championship. Tonight, these two sluggers square off for the first time this year at Busch Stadium. If the Cardinals are to snap their three-game losing streak, they've got to shut down one of the game's best in Todd Helton, already hitting .389 this season. Cards and Rockies coming up. A beautiful night for baseball in downtown St. Louis. The Rockies make their lone visit to Busch Stadium. Two of the game's best in Helton and Pujols, one of the best pinch hitters playing right tonight in Mark Sweeney, and Scott Rowland, of course, off to a great start. With Al Hrabosky, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Cardinals baseball here at Busch Stadium. You wipe the slate clean, okay? Forget this home record of 1-6. Forget about the sweep of Houston. You had the off day, so the guys are rested and ready to go for the weekend series.
Well, that was kind of a controversy, too, having an off day and having them well rested, but you're right. I think they're going to come out here. A lot is being said about the pitching staff. It has not been very good. There's no way to sugarcoat that, but it will get better, and I think the players themselves have a lot of faith in the pitchers.
Now, a lot has been said about Albert Pujols and Todd Helton, two of the game's best, like we mentioned, and these two guys have different styles at the plate, don't they?
Well, they do, but their results are almost identical. See, Albert, a little more spread. Todd Helton lifts that front leg up, but it's part of the trigger mechanism to get in the same hitting position. The hands are back. Todd maybe a little more flex with his back knee, but you see Albert starting to come forward too, but the hands are still back for the point of contact. When they come through, there's no dropping of the shoulders. It's just solid contact coming through, and they finish and follow through is just outstanding. Last year they were 1-2 and had the smallest margin of victory for Albert in the batting championship ever in the National League and third in Major League history.
When we talk about Todd Helton, he's a guy in this lineup with not a lot of protection right now because of some of the injuries that they have, but he has put on 20 pounds of muscle, and people say, hey, the muscle, if he has 20 pounds, doesn't have 20, it doesn't matter. This guy's going to hit.
Well, he's a great athlete. He's a father for the first time last fall. You know, he can do whatever he wants to do. But as you mentioned, it's a little different without Larry Walker. It's got a groin injury. Preston Wilson will have knee surgery on Monday, so he doesn't have the same protection. But still, if you're facing him, you're scared to death.
Yes, you are, and that's the job tonight of Matt Morris, coming off a complete game his last time out. We're in downtown St. Louis, a gorgeous night for baseball. Down St. Louis, Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Net. Game one of this three-game series as the Cardinals try to snap their three-game losing streak, 1-6 to start the season here at Busch Stadium. And we welcome you back to Cardinals baseball. We're talking about injuries for the Colorado Rockies and how it has decimated this lineup. And really the big question for Clint Hurdle is trying to find some type of protection for Todd Helton. Burnitz and Castillo will play behind him in the lineup today, but you've got Preston Wilson out. As you mentioned, you also have Larry Walker out of this lineup. It really changes the complexion of what they're trying to do.
Two big bats. It takes an awful lot of offense away from them. You know, Larry Walker, he had a Hall of Fame career going for him, but you see those numbers. He's kind of gotten sidetracked a little bit. He's been injured basically the last 5 years. It's a groin now, but it's really been a serious elbow. And then you see Preston Wilson, what he did last year, and I don't know, he's having surgery. I don't know how long he'll be out with the meniscus problem.
Right, they don't know exactly how long he will be out. He'll have that knee surgery on Monday morning. We take a quick timeout. The lineup a little different tonight for Tony La Russa. Tony Womack at the top of the lineup, but Reggie Sanders moving up to second in the order. And then you've got the big boppers, Rowland, Pujols, and the rest. Cardinals big part starter for St. Louis, Matt Morris, coming off a complete game in Arizona last Friday, Al.
Well, Matt Morris only 93 pitches, picking up his first win of the year, and those 15 innings were sitting on top of the National League leaders.
7:09 with our first pitch. Glad you could join us tonight on Fox Sports Net. Luis Gonzalez is the leadoff man for Clint Hurdle's club. An interesting story, a Rule 5 pickup by Colorado, and he actually played with Hector Luna last season in the minor leagues of the Cardinals.
How can Cleveland lose Luna and Castillo, or Gonzalez, to Rule 5 and be where they are?
Exactly.
I mean, they're not a very good club. This kid's turned some heads too.
The 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss and a strikeout, and that's how we start the game for Matt Morris. As you mentioned, last time out, only 93 pitches thrown by Matty Mo. Let's take a look at the lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Luis Gonzalez just struck out. Now Royce Clayton, the former Cardinal, then Todd Helton here in the first. Castillo will back cleanup, then Burnitz, Johnson, Sweeney, Matt Holliday, another young star they expect in the making, and then Stark, the pitcher, batting ninth. The velocity has not been to where it was in the past with Matt Morse, 94, 95, 96, but the movement in his last game was exceptional. The downward sinking action on his fastball, in and out, moving quickly, and his mannerisms, that's another way to tell if he's on his game, were very, very good. First two have been retired here in the first. Edgar Renteria, Gold Glover from last year, part of our Auto Tire defense. Anderson, Edmonds, and Sanders in the outfield. As we mentioned, Gold Glover two-time for Edgar. Roland Renteria on the left side, Womack Pujols on the right side. Mike Matheny is behind the plate, and here's Todd Helton hitting .389.
And I think you said something very correctly when you talk about Matt Morris's mannerisms. Does he get the ball? Does he want to throw? Does he look like he's having fun out there? When he shows that, it's when you see he feels very good about himself. Matt has that go get him attitude. You know, get the ball, throw the ball.
2 balls and a strike on Todd Helton, hitting .389, no home runs and 4 RBIs. He had 6 home runs in spring. And people noticed that he had put on some weight. There's a breaking ball, and it's 2-2. He's put on about 20 pounds of muscle, they say. And they expected the power numbers maybe to even rise over what he did last year and the year before. That one is pulled foul. Our 4th key matchup, Todd Helton against Matt Morris, 5 for 16 with a pair of home runs. Morris, by the way, did not face Colorado last season. And here's a 2-2 pitch.
Todd last season in the 6 games in St. Louis batted .500. In September, he was 4 for 11, a .364 average.
This one is popped up out of play. This big crowd is still filing in here at Busch.
Well, we showed you in the open how he has that high leg kick. It's a little more calm, but maybe that's just because of Matt Morris. You don't have as much time.
Breaking ball lifted into deep right center field. Edmonds on the move, looking up, and that is a home run. The first of the season on a 2-2 pitch for Todd Helton.
Todd Helton entered this season the highest career batting average, .337, and slugging percentage, .616 among all active major leaguers. Only 3 players had a higher slugging mark in baseball history: Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, and Lou Gehrig. So it gives you an indication where he sits with Albert Pujols and young Todd Helton. Breaking ball, and he was not fooled by it. And the Cardinals continue to struggle in the first inning with a team ERA over 12.
That's a fastball for a strike to Vinny Castilla. Home runs, of course, have plagued this staff. It's now 16 that they have allowed. Hit to short, gobbled up there by Renteria. Bottom of the first is coming up. It'll be Womack, Sanders, and Pujols. Todd Helton has made it a 1-0 game. We welcome you back to Busch Stadium. It's the bottom of the first. Denny Stark, a right-hander for Colorado. He's our advanced auto parts starter for the Colorado Rockies. A rough start his first time out against Los Angeles.
Well, he's really been struggling. He had a shaky spring training, shaky start to the season. Sinker slider type pitcher. And a couple of years ago he was very promising, but that is a thing of the past.
Tony Womack will lead things off. This is the Southwest Airlines starting lineup with Reggie Sanders behind him, and then Albert Pujols here in the first. Edmonds will bat cleanup. Roland Renteria, Marlon Anderson, Mike Matheny, and Matt Morris. So Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Tony Womack spent a little time with Colorado last year. He's been bouncing around these last few seasons in the National League.
3 stops last year.
Finished up with Chicago. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tony Womack. Saw a 6-game hitting streak snapped on Monday night against Houston. We will see the Astros next week on the road. Houston outscoring the Cardinals in that 3-game sweep, 26-9, including an 11-1 defeat Wednesday as Wade Miller shut down the Cardinals. Womack jumps on this into deep right field. That's trouble. That ball is gone. A home run for Tony Womack. His first of the season, first as a Cardinal.
That's how you get back that lead. And look at Walt Jockney and Bruce Mano. They love that one. Got a pitch, belt high. Got the arms extended and surprises everyone with a shot into the Cardinals bullpen. Their 20th home run already for the Redbirds.
And that has been the knock on Denny Stark in his first start this year and all of last season. Has not been able to keep the ball low in the zone, Al, and he's given up those home runs. We just saw why there as Tony Womack picks up his first of the season. And here's Reggie Sanders. Reggie telling me before the game this is the first time that he's been second in the lineup since his days with the Braves. He said it doesn't matter. That catches the outside corner. 2-1.
Tony Womack, and what a pleasant surprise he's been. Got the arms extended, hit that ball extremely hard, and you don't want to get a guy like him accustomed to home runs.
Sanders, did they go back to back? Left center. That ball is gone. Home run for Reggie. Back to back. And it's 2-1 St. Louis.
Watching batting practice today, Red Shandy said the ball is flying, and he was questioning what was going on. But we've already hit some warm weather here in St. Louis, and back-to-back shots. Reggie's third already and 9th RBI. Maybe he'll like hitting second again. Watch him. Makes contact, and that little hop, not showing off or anything, but getting his stride down.
And Albert Pujols is licking his chops as he digs in. Nobody out. 2-1 St. Louis. And ball one to Albert Pujols. As you mentioned last season, Pujols and Helton, the third closest in Major League history as far as the batting title between those two. And Matt Morris has a lead, just like in Arizona last weekend. Matt Morris gave up a run in the first, and the Cardinals were able to come back. 2-0 the count on Albert Pujols, with Edmonds on deck. 3-0.
That's been the trademark. Stark has fallen behind everybody. Last season he missed a substantial time with a pulled muscle in his upper back, and just relieved.
4 straight Pujols is on. The first 3 have reached.
Denny Stark has not faced Coors Field yet. He's only pitched on the road. This is the second start, second time on the road. Bob Apodaca, pitching coach for Colorado, coming out to talk to his young 29-year-old Colorado pitcher.
Home run hitters tonight. Tony Womack, a leadoff home run, and then Reggie Sanders follows up with his solo home run. And again, talking with Reggie Sanders before the game, he said, you just don't take a different approach. I'm not going to lay down a bunt unless I'm told to, but batting second in the order, he goes deep.
I mean, just where are you going to put any of these hitters?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many good hitters in this lineup. They all just want to bat.
Edmonds up the middle for a base hit. The first 4 have reached. And talking with the Colorado people, Denny Stark is on thin ice as far as trying to keep this spot in the rotation and maybe keep a spot with the Colorado Rockies. He's not helping his cause tonight. Clint Hurdle looking on.
Well, he was given the 5th spot in the rotation after a shaky spring, just based on the fact that he pitched in the major leagues and had some success a couple years ago.
The Rockies have changed the way that they approach playing at Coors Field as one of the hottest bats in all of baseball steps in, and Scott Rowland. Remember, they started out, they said, all right, we're going to be offensive minded. Then they went out and signed Mike Hampton and Denny Nagel. That flopped. Now going back to stacking the lineup with some of these bats. They have a pretty decent lineup when healthy. 1 ball and 1 strike, and they like their minor league system. They will be out from under some of these contracts next year, namely Denny Nagel, Larry Walker, another one. They don't mind paying Todd Helton the kind of numbers that he puts up. Rowland slices this one foul and out of play.
They had 9 non-roster players make their team. And there's some age there too. Jeff Facero, Rick Reed, some of the veteran guys like that. Castillo.
Rowland holds it just foul. Chicago comes back. The Cubbies at Wrigley Field down by a run in the 9th. They score 2 and win it 11-10. A final from Chicago over Pittsburgh, or rather Cincinnati. 2-2 the count on Scott Rowland. 2-1 St. Louis. We're just underway here at Busch. Edgar Renteria waiting on deck. Pujols back safely.
Salas trying to get a daylight play in there to try and get an out. Albert on the bases. You know, this Rockies team have not committed an error yet. Strange.
9 straight games without an error for Colorado.
Of course, the Cardinals are way out of whack with 7. You would say the Cardinals haven't committed an error in the first 10 games. You'd understand that one.
Yeah. Full count on Scott Rowland with first and second. Still nobody out. 19 pitches by Stark and still nobody out here in the first.
Leader in RBIs at the plate.
Rowland up the middle. That's a base hit. Pujols being waved home. He will score. RBI for Scott Rowland, number 17. What a start for Scotty. 17 RBIs.
5 home runs, 17 RBIs, 360 plus average, and just make contact, put the ball in play. But you can see sinkers that are above the belt get hit hard and oftentimes go through. Albert Pujols running hard, waving them on home. Jeremy Burnitz, not typically a center fielder, but playing there because of Preston Wilson hurt.
There is all kinds of room in left center field as Burnitz, which you mentioned, Al, in center, is shading Renteria to the opposite field. Edgar goes that way into right. This is Mark Sweeney. Will they test him? They will.
Yes.
And the run will score easily. That is Jim Edmonds. 4-1 St. Louis. Let's take a look at the Colorado defense, brought to you by Auto Tire. Rockies are the only team in baseball without an error this season. Holliday, Burnitz, and Sweeney in the outfield. Castilla, Clayton, Gonzalez, and Helton, a 2-time Gold Glover at first. Charles Johnson is behind the plate. It's the first out. And here's Marlon Anderson.
Marlon wants to get the monkey off his back. Been an outstanding pinch hitter already, but all of his hits have come as a pinch hitter.
Marlon Anderson playing left field tonight. Ray Langford is on the bench. You might remember a couple nights ago on a chilly night here in St. Louis, tweaked his hamstring.
The report is that he is available to pinch hit, Ray Langford, and they're really kind of shooting that Tuesday with yesterday's off day and another off day on Monday, that he'll be available then.
And a strikeout of Anderson. caught him looking. There's 2 outs. The batter will be Mike Matheny, the 8th man to come to the dish in this inning for St. Louis. First 5 reached. 4 runs have scored on 4 hits, and it's 4-1 Cardinals. Scotty rolling with a stolen base. No throw from Johnson. Had a huge jump on Denny Stark. No chance for Johnson.
It was almost as if Stark just forgot about him there. 2 outs, and look at him take off. He actually took off early.
Yeah. So RBI opportunity here from Mike Matheny. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Cardinal catcher with Matt Morris on deck. Colorado comes in with a record of 4-5. The Cardinals are 2 games below the 500 mark. Sharply hit to Clayton. Stays with it. Good play. Cross to Helton, and the Cardinals are done. In the first, some fireworks. It started with Todd Helton. His first of the year off of Matt Morris, and then the Cardinals come back. Back-to-back with Tony Womack and Reggie Sanders. It's 4-1 St. Louis as we head to the second. As we head to the top of the second. Todd Helton on the left side of your screen. Then Tony Womack and Reggie Sanders go back-to-back for the Cardinals. For Tony Womack, 7th time that he has led off a ball game offensively for his club with a home run. The all-time leader, of course, is Ricky Henderson.
And the National League leader we'll see Tuesday night.
That's right, Craig Biggio. And digging in, it's Jeremy Burnitz, finished up last season with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Wanted to stay with the Dodgers. That did not happen. Struggled down the stretch. Dodgers did not make postseason play as their offense was anemic. Burnitz didn't help, but he wanted to stay near the West Coast, near his home in San Diego. And now the sprinklers have come on.
It happens every few years. I've seen it before.
And because of that, Al, we have time to tell you about our party suites. The Cardinals have a party area just for you. Check out our private party rooms and suites here at Busch. Whether you're planning for 12 or 200, call the Cardinals today to catch a game in style. 425-0600 today to book your party at Busch.
Remind me to tell you a story about sprinklers.
I'll remind you right. Oh, okay. I was going to say I'll remind you right now. I'm looking forward to it.
Off the air.
You've got too many stories that are off the air.
Life experiences.
The next to Burnitz. This is low and in. Burnitz has been hot with a 6-game hitting streak. Most of his career has been spent with the Milwaukee Brewers. And he pulls this towards Pujols. Nice backhanded play. Morris is there for the first out. They just get Burnitz down the line. Nice play by Albert.
Now we talk about Albert and the fact that I think he's going to win a Gold Glove, but one of the problems in doing so is going to be another battle with Todd Helton. Todd Helton is very efficient, and he's got a long errorless streak going at first base. But another very nice play from Albert Pujols. Bounces around very well, very aggressive there, and he'll save a bunch of low throws.
First pitch to Charles Johnson was a ball. You get a good look at Albert over there at first base. Johnson off to a good start, hitting .391. Good breaking ball there, sharp from Matt Morris. Johnson 4 for 6 with 3 RBIs in his career against Matty Mo. And the 1-1 pitch is pulled down the left field line, a fair ball into the corner. That'll be a double for the catcher Charles Johnson. So 1-out double in this 4-1 ball game here in the top of the second.
That's a 27th double. That breaks a tie with St. Louis for leaders in the National League in that department.
Hey, we got one of our favorites digging in, and that is Mark Sweeney.
Mark Sweeney. You know, I know Mark would want to wish his very, very, very special 14th birthday to our good buddy Patrick Everly. Sweeney sitting with 99 pinch hits.
Lenny Harris is the all-time leader at 181. Manny Mo at 150. Mark Sweeney, as you mentioned, at 99. He would tie Rusty Staub at 100 with his next pinch hit. Getting a start tonight in right field.
Start tonight, and last couple times he's been in that familiar pinch hitting role, he's delivered doubles.
He taps it foul, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Very close friend with John Mabry. And I said, you talked to Mabes? He said, we've been playing phone tag the last couple days. And he said, I hear he's hitting the ball really well down at Memphis. And he said, you know, I know it's tough down there. Mark has had to do it.
Sweeney pops it up into left center field. Edmonds drifting over to his right. He's got it. Johnson will stay at second base. 2 outs. Hypothetically, let's put this situation out there. If Langford would go on the DL, which is not going to happen, but if that happened and Cedeno is on the DL, you'd have to give a hard look to John Mabry.
Oh, absolutely. You know, John Gall would be a guy, but he's just learning position. You know, you just really would have to look at that. Kevin Witt.
Especially as much as Tony La Russa would like to see a left-handed bat off his bench. Here's Matt Holliday. The Rockies really like him. With these injuries to Preston Wilson and Larry Walker, Holliday a chance to get some playing time in the major leagues.
That's his major league debut, just recalled, with the injured Preston Wilson.
Breaking ball just misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Preston Wilson was the RBI champ last season. Talking about Albert Pujols going for the Triple Crown. Had to beat out Todd Helton for the batting championship, and Wilson won the RBI title.
Hurdle knows all about having good minor league numbers. He was a phenom, cover boy of Sports Illustrated, trying to make the Kansas City Royals team.
2-1 pitch. At Stark, the pitcher, on deck, so you have first base open if Matt Morris elects to just put on Holliday and just deal with the pitcher Stark. That's what's going to happen here. So it's a 2-out walk, and Denny Stark will dig in. Colorado jumped out to the early lead on the home run by Todd Helton on a 2-2 pitch. The Cardinals came storming back in their half of the first with 4 runs on 4 hits, and it's a 4-1 ball game.
Jason Stark does have 1 career home run, but not much of a hitter. And Denny Stark.
First pitch is strike to Denny Stark.
The other guy's a better rider.
Out of Philadelphia. Mr. Stark. Good breaking ball, 0-2. Morris does have a strikeout. The first batter he saw, Luis Gonzalez, tonight.
Denny is looking to snap an 0 for 33 hitless drought, date back to September 12, 2002.
Check swing. Did he go around? No.
And the Johnson alert takes third.
So it's first and third with 2 outs.
Scott Rowland's trying to say time should have been called as they're asking for an appeal, and he might have made his case to Paul Emmel, third base umpire.
Which would be the right call.
Well, but I mean, they might say, well, time wasn't called. So that's what I think what they're going to ask right now. But a very alert Scott Rowland, you know, and a lot of times what they're saying is was like when you ask down there, then time, you know, play stops. Joe West, the singing cowboy, is our crew chief, second base umpire.
And Mike DeMuro is behind the plate.
There's an appeal play. Does he go around? I don't think he goes around. And during the process here, the runner at second base went on to third base. And I think Joe may say it's all one continuous play.
Maybe all for naught with the pitcher.
That's what he's saying. You know, he stays there, heads up play, you know.
Yep. So stolen base is awarded for Charles Johnson. And it's 1st and 3rd. 1-2 the count.
You know what? That may be 2 games in a row Charles has gotten a stolen base.
And a swing and a miss. All that for the strikeout to start. Colorado strands 2 of their first 2 of the night. Morris will lead things off. Turn to the field when they take on Jeff Bagwell and the Houston Astros. Coverage begins at 6:30. And it's only here on your home of the Cardinals, Fox Sports Net. Cards and Astros next week. Rams head coach Mike Martz in attendance tonight. Rams schedule announced they'll be on 3 Monday night games the upcoming season, and of course about a week and a half away.
He's looking for draft picks.
From the draft, that's right. Here's Matt Morris.
Maybe he liked that running speed of Charles Johnson. Stolen base today equaled his career high in Baltimore in 2000. And he's a Friday night special. He got a stolen base last Friday night. And another one here tonight.
Cardinals lead it 4-1. 2-0 the count on Morris. Womack on deck, and then Reggie Sanders. That's a strike. Mark McGwire Day tomorrow. Still not quite sold out, as Morris hits it into right and picks up a base hit. Hit number 5 for St. Louis. Last time Tony Womack, prior to tonight, the leadoff home run was back in 2002, and he does so tonight. 7th time in his career.
You really don't want leadoff guys or guys the size of Womack to start hitting home runs, but sometimes that puts them in a tailspin. But every now and then it's good for your ego.
Vinny Castillo way in on the grass at third base.
That is a good sign. Don't fall in love with the home run. Go back to your speed game and tries to drop down a bunt.
Five hits on the night for St. Louis, and the next 2, Tony Womack. Hit into right center field. That could be trouble. That ball gets down into the gap and to the wall. Morris is going to be held up at third base. Womack will have to stop at second. It'll be 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out for Reggie Sanders.
Matt Morris was chugging along trying to do everything he can, and he was trying to help out Tony Womack and get him over to third with a triple. See him kind of halfway, then he turns on the afterburners, running hard, picking up his third base coach, and then he got the stop sign. Good running by Womack too, not to have his head down and go on to third and run blindly into an out.
Todd Helton is pretty much even with the bag at first, as Sanders pops it fouling out of play. Again, Burnett's shading Sanders into right center field, all kinds of room into left center. Huge gap out there in the outfield.
You can see all this area out here. So center fielder well on the second base side, or the first base side of second. And Dan, in games like this, even with a Matt Morris on the mound, pitching against your ball club, I still think this is the proper defense. Guys getting a lot of trouble by bringing their infield in and trying to seal off a run, and that leads to the big crooked numbers.
2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And a swing and a miss and a good pitch is Sanders. Now has a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Albert Pujols waiting on deck. Matt Morris started the inning with a single. He advanced to third to the double by Tony Womack. 1-2 the count on Sanders. And time is called. Stark does the right thing in finishing the pitch. Sanders has delivered so far for St. Louis. Trying to do so again tonight. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Denny Stark.
See what he gets him with. Change up there. It's really basically a sinker slider type guy. get one out, and now trouble begins.
Second and third for Albert Pujols. So disciplined up there. Albert Pujols, Todd Helton, third closest batting championship in Major League history.
And the closest ever in the National League.
That's a strike. Albert hitting .289 with 4 home runs and 11 RBIs. And again, pretty much the same defense as Burnett's, shading to the opposite field.
Look how far the left fielder is off the left field line.
And I would presume that means that they know that Albert's not going to get anything middle half. If he does, it's a mistake.
Well, you know, I haven't seen the command of a lot of pitchers yet that can throw it that way. So
2 and
far,
2.
so good. They started a couple years ago. It was very promising.
The 2-2. Pujols lays off that pitch in a full count with Edmonds on deck. What will Albert Pujols do here with a full count delivery? Protection behind him. Will squibber back to the mound. Morris back to third. Wide throw, safe at first is Albert Pujols. Made a good pitch and a chance to possibly set himself up to get out of the inning. Now it's 1 out with the bases loaded, and here comes Edmonds.
Well, there's Colorado's first error of the year, and it's to the pitcher. Makes a very good pitch. They get an outstanding and dangerous hitter out, and then cannot complete the throw. He does everything correct. He checks back the runner, but there is no crow hop. He spins and throws there. This is an outstanding pitch. Look at this, right down in there, hits it right off the end of the bat. Had him way out in front on it. You don't usually fake Albert in that type of situation. And then he makes a poor throw.
Let's see if Edmonds can make him pay. Looked like Pujols going down the line was not in the lane there, heading down the first base line.
Well, you know, it's almost impossible for a right-hander, especially if you're fooled like that, not to start out dramatically inside the baseline.
Yep.
It's just, you know, your first step, you're 3 feet inside the line.
1 ball, 1 strike on Edmonds. Here's what you're talking about, Al.
Yeah, but you see where he is out here. You know, he should be in this running line here. But the problem is, when you're fooled, you know, you first start out here, and then you start guiding back into the, you know, the baseline.
Edmonds into center. Morris will tag up. Womack tags up from second to third, heads up, base running. Pujols is safe at second base. Smart play by Albert. RBI for Edmonds, number 9 on the season. 5-1 Cardinals.
You know, good defense and better base running. No slack as Burnett gets his weight behind him, comes charging in, hits the cutoff man, and Clayton tries to get the tailing runner, but Albert, running hard all the way, gets the second save.
Scott Rowland already now with 17 RBIs. Picked up another one his first time up. The chance here with 2 outs to add to that. RBI base hit in the first, and then a stolen base for Scott Rowland. Edgar Renteria waiting on deck with 2 outs here in the second. Tony Womack with a double. He now stands at third base after tagging up. Albert Pujols reached on the air. Smart base running. He's at second in scoring position. And the 1-1 pitch. Rowland gets underneath this one into left center. Backing up, Holliday to the wall. Can't handle it. Womack scores. Pujols scores. Rowland is hustling all the way into third.
That ball just kept on carrying on young Matt Holliday. They have not ruled it yet, and it could be ruled either way, a double and 2 RBIs, or easily an error. Drifting back, and right off the glove. It should be an error. He didn't really go back hard on it, put his back up against the wall, and then he could have hit a step forward. They do call it an error.
Second error in this inning. 7-1 Cardinals. Rolling the runner at third base with 2 outs. Edgar, little chopper to Clayton, backing up, slips, long throw, out at first. Cardinals picked up 4 in the first inning, 3 more here in the second on their second error in this inning. Cardinals up 7-1. The Cardinals in control of this one early on, top of the third, as we welcome you back to Busch Stadium. What has turned out to be just a glorious night for baseball. Glad you could join us here on Fox Sports Net. 7-1 Cardinals, 4 in the first and 3 here in the second. We're back to the top of the order. Luis Gonzalez, then Royce Clayton and Todd Helton for Colorado. And the first pitch is a strike. Gonzalez, his first time up, struck out against Matt Morris. This is the 6th start of his career in the major leagues, and he lines out to the Gold Glover. Scott Rowland played him perfectly. That's the first out. This day in baseball history is brought to you by our good friends at Schnucks. April 16th, 1978, Cardinal Bob Force throws the first of his 2 career no-hitters, defeating the Phillies 5-0 at Busch. Next one would be against Montreal, and the only Cardinal to throw 2 no-hitters.
How many brother combinations have thrown no-hitters?
Well, there's Bob and Ken.
Yeah. And then there's Bob and Ken.
That's what I thought.
They're the only ones.
Across the diamond, Clayton retired. Quickly, 2 outs.
Well, Matt Morris, even though he gave up the solo home run, just like his last time out, just kind of settles in, but got a lot of runs to work with.
Are you concerned at all about his velocity being down? Now, he only threw 93 pitches in the game against Arizona. He is a 2-pitch pitcher with a good curveball, and his velocity, as we have seen in the past, Al, has been 94, 95, 96. But if the movement is there, you don't necessarily need to have that.
It's the equalizer. And I think he's maturing. He's trying to use the changeup a little more, but he's maturing and understanding that strikeouts are not that important. There are points in a game where it's nice to get one, but if you can get rid of hitters in 1 or 2 pitches, you don't end up with that high pitch count, and you throw complete games with 93 pitches like he last did. See, you see the movement there.
Right.
Sometimes great hitters get a better strike zone.
And one misses just into Todd Helton. And a count of 3 balls and 1 strike. A solo home run for Helton. His first time up and his first home run of 2004. Up and in, and that's the second time that he has reached base. Hey kids, get your parents to come to the game early on Sunday. Every Sunday home game this season is an ice cream sundae, brought to you by North Star and the Magic House. When the gates open 2 hours before game time, start enjoying free ice cream, games, and fun in the family pavilion. That's every Sunday home game the Redbirds play this year. Come and join in the fun this Sunday. The Cardinals wrap up their homestand. That's a nice look. Make mom and dad proud.
Practicing eating ice cream. Maybe Magic House.
Well, mom and dad must love that.
Get those kids a tape. Take it home and show parents what they learned at the ball game.
Which one drove them here?
One on the left.
Okay. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Get into deep left field, backing up Marlon Anderson, and he's out of room. That's a home run. And a pitch that was up. And Vinny Castilla picks up the home run, his 3rd. 2 home runs allowed by Matt Morris. And it's 7-3.
That is the 4th home run of the year allowed by Matt. And now 17 allowed by the pitching staff to go with Cardinals 21. There's a changeup up in the zone. And boy, you just don't fool a hitter like Castillo. So it's part of the maturing process, learning how to hold on to that pitch, but bury it down.
Here's Burnitz. Hongo Award tonight, Al.
Oh, I know. We got to have something happen in this game. We got a few candidates, but I want some players.
Wayne Hagan, Cardinal broadcaster on the radio side, is a candidate because of your golf outing today.
He might have eliminated himself, telling you he beat me.
Okay. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and scratch him off right now. He's done.
Thank you.
We'll move on. I mean, there's somebody here with a sign, right?
Yeah, there's a couple girls had a sign. They wanted a Hongo. So, I mean, they got to be in competition. We're 1-6 at home. We just got swept in the Houston series. Can't give it to a Houston player.
Burnitz hammers this one into right field, and there's Reggie Sanders. Vinny Castilla is 1 for 2 on the night. His one hit, he made Matt Morris pay. With 2 outs, a 2-run shot. 7-3, St. Louis.
Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Advance Auto. We're ready in advance. By Aflac. Ask about it at work. And by Rico. How well do you print, copy, scan, fax? How well do you share?
Marlon Anderson digging in. 7-3 Cardinals, bottom of the 3rd. Al Hrabosky, Dan McLaughlin. Glad you could join us tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marlon. He struck out his first time up. Cardinals have pounded out 6 hits already and have 7 runs. A couple of home runs in this game for the Cardinals from Womack and Reggie Sanders.
Marlon 0 for his last 10. Boy, you think the way the start of this one, you might think we're in Colorado.
I was thinking the same thing. We've got a candidate for the Hongo, Al. 3-1 pitch. Pounded into deep right field. That'll break out of that little slump. Home run for Marlon Anderson. No doubt about that home run off the bat of Marlon Anderson.
That's how you break an 0 for 10, and his 2nd home run of the year. Hit one as a pinch hitter, and now he finally has his first hit as a regular or a position player. His first 3 all coming as a pinch hitter. But he jumps all over this one, and the Cardinals' 3rd home run of the night. No fireworks this year because of the construction. I think it's to save money.
With as many home runs are being hit. 8-3 St. Louis.
Glenn Hurdle looking on and saying, what happened to Stark's sinker?
As Matheny hits this one, Burnitz on the run into left center. He won't get it. 1 hopper, ground rule double for Mike Matheny.
That ball is just jumping tonight.
Big time. Mike is 1 for 2.
Mike Matheny had been 0 for 9 after his torrid start.
Let's see if Matt Morris can move the runner over. You were out chirping as we went to break, and our fine crew here in St. Louis, the best in the business, is scouring the stands trying to find candidates for the Hongo.
Oh, we need them. We need them.
That's a strike to Matt Morris. Got to start coming up with some guidelines, some rules. I know you don't like to adhere to many rules in your own life.
You're right.
But this is your award. As Morris lays down a beautiful bunt, barehanded, and the throw to first is high, but Morris is the first out here in the 3rd. Now this was one of the candidates that we found. You know what? Use that I'm going to use a telestrator. You know what? No. No.
Now that's Dan. That's Dan talking now, man. Dan, are you sure? Really? Think about it. This could be.
No. The first one we hand out is not going to Elvis.
Jeff Facero.
Jeff Facero could be your first Hungo winner.
No.
Well, if you are keeping score, which we ask you always to do, this is what your scorecard should look like. Awful lot of red as the Cardinals have pounded out 8 hits to Colorado's 3. And they lead this game 8-3.
You know who might be a candidate based on looking at that scorecard? Mitchell Page.
Infield is drawn in for Tony Womack, who has a double and a home run and 2 runs scored.
That guy probably sung as good as I do. Elvis. That Elvis in the stands.
You can't give the first one to that guy. Maybe down the line when you're desperate.
I think you're right, but we want people to challenge my integrity.
It's a desperation pitch. Okay? Come on.
You know me well enough, I can be bribed.
Here's a 3-0 pitch. Ball 4 to Tony Womack, and Reggie Sanders will step in. First and third, 1 out, and the infield is drawn in. Let's see if the middle infielders back up for Sanders and play for the double play. 66 pitches for Mr. Stark.
Yeah, more strikes than balls.
Let's see if Reggie can make him pay. His homer tonight. Struck out, left a couple runners on his second time up.
2002, he was 11-4. 20 starts for Colorado.
What has happened? Where's the sink on that sinker?
Well, you know, he hurt that muscle in his upper back last season and restricted him to relieving, but something's not right. And right now, it doesn't look like he's going to find it tonight, or maybe not find it here in the big leagues.
Sanders chops it foul and out of play for strike 1. Mentioned too that Colorado came in with no errors this season. They made 2 in 1 inning tonight. Blame Clint Hurdle. He was saying with Mike Shannon during the pregame interview they had not committed an error. Mike said, just jinx yourself. Sure enough, they've made 2 tonight. Albert Pujols is waiting on deck. Albert has been quiet tonight. Reached on an error, scored, walked and scored, but no hits so far. 1 strike on the batter, Reggie Sanders. Inning started with a home run by Marlon Anderson, then double by Mike Matheny, sacrificed by Morris, walk to Womack.
See, that is called from the bench, but it's almost a desperation, thinking that maybe we can trick somebody on the base paths. Got a better chance of getting out there than you do throwing a pitch to home plate. That's what a good hitter thinks.
And the check on Womack. Charles Johnson now calls time, sets the defense. Only in the third, and it's 8-3 Cardinals. There goes Womack. Stolen base for Tony. No throw from Johnson. So it's second and third, and 1 out. Base hit could plate 2.
I guess that tells you he doesn't have a very good move. After all those step-offs, tried to pick him off there, and then he steals his 6th base without another throw.
A ball and a strike on Sanders. High in the air to deep left field. Has a chance. Holliday back. It is gone. Home run for Reggie Sanders. 3-run home run. Another multi-home run game for Reggie. 11-3 St. Louis. The folks are having some fun tonight.
24th multi-home run game for Reggie. 2nd wearing the Cardinal uniform. And this will be the last pitching sequence. Sinker right there. Then a fastball that's up. That's when Womack steals. And then a belt tie. Sinker doesn't do anything but sail out of the park.
And that is it for Denny Stark. Our pitch-by-pitch feature was brought to you by Chevrolet. And already we have, with 1 out, an 11-3 St. Louis lead here in the 3rd. A call to the bullpen. Brought to you by the official hotel of Cardinal broadcast on Fox Sports Net, Renaissance Grand Hotel. Jeff Fassero, the former Cardinal, will come in now pitching for the Rockies. 11-3 St. Louis. Our buddy Tony West on the camera here as we watch this one sail away into the seats. The 2nd time tonight for Reggie Sanders. Great work by Tony and our crew. Kenny Roberts has our 2nd look at this home run. Great job, guys, as we follow the home runs of Reggie Sanders. A bunch tonight as the Cardinals are rolling 11-3 over Colorado. And here's our friend Jeff Fassero out of the bullpen now for Colorado.
Well, Jeff's earned this assignment, and he's been on an opening day roster for each of the last 13 years, with the exception of 98 when he was on the disabled list. 41-year-old, is the oldest player in Rockies history. Almost 4 years older than Bryn Smith when he played the final game in the Colorado uniform.
All right, Albert, get into the fun. The 0-1. Little chopper left side. Finds a hole, and it's a base hit for Pujols. Royce Clayton was near the bag at 2nd. That hole was wide open. The Cardinals RBIs and our Budweiser leaderboard up there. Rolen and Sanders and Pujols and Edmonds. We knew this team was going to score runs. It's just, can they pitch enough to stay in ball games? And truly, that is the key.
Yeah, and of course, there's going to be times when the offense doesn't do their thing, and the pitching staff is looking for, suing for non-support. It goes in cycles, and it's going to be really something when they're going on the same page. This pitching staff will get a lot better.
Here's Jim Edmonds now for St. Louis. Jimmy on the day is a single and a run scored, also a RBI. Back in the 2nd, he's 1 for 1. Jeff Fassero worked out of the bullpen last year a couple of times for the Cardinals. You might remember midway through the season, a little bit after the All-Star break, he made a couple of starts and actually fared, I thought, better starting for the Cardinals than in the bullpen.
And he could be in the rotation when we go to Colorado, because he was battling with start for this 5th spot in the order. And they gave it to the youngster based on his prior experience, but Fassero is one of those left-handers that's better suited to retiring right-handed batters.
Edmonds sticks the bat out, just gets a piece. 4 balls and 2 strikes. Jeff Fassero for a while last year seemed to be enemy #1 in that bullpen with the Cardinal fans as he struggled in relief. But with no Isringhausen, a lot of those guys out there were exposed and in roles they probably shouldn't have been put into. Edmonds a swing and a miss. He's carved up by Fassero. Jason Jennings, maybe the only legitimate starter that they have. We will see him on Sunday. Sean Estes is off to a good start. The left-hander will pitch tomorrow for Colorado. He is 2-0. Scott Ellerton and, of course, Denny Stark at the bottom of their rotation. Those two have really struggled.
Jennings and Stark were the 2 bright spots a couple years ago.
Right. Here's Scott Rowland. Hit that long fly ball out to left that was mishandled by Holliday. allowed a couple of runs to score and really busted this game open for the Cardinals in the second. He's reached on an error. He's stolen a base, has an RBI single. 17 RBIs already. This one is popped up behind home plate and out of play. Big crowd here at Busch Stadium on this Friday night. Just a perfect night. Come on down and see some Cardinal baseball here at Busch.
Well, we know Scott Rowland's still leading the National League with the 17 RBIs. Came in tied for second in home runs with his 5.
Little tapper, a swinging bunt. Fucero after spin and twirl. He does. High throw, but Helton is there, and the Cardinals are done in their half of the third. Couple of 4 spots tonight, one in the first, one in this inning. Cardinals in control. 11 playing the best damn sports show period, a 90-minute frat party with irreverent skits, insightful interviews, and sharp locker room banner. The best damn sports show period tonight at 11, and it's only on Fox Sports Net. Yankees and Red Sox renewing their rivalry tonight with Joe Buck and Tim McCarver. The national game of the week starts tonight. NBA playoff preview as well. That youngster is seeing some offense tonight. 11-3 Cardinals with the lead, and Matt Morris on the mound, and you feel pretty good about the way this one is going. Here's Charles Johnson, who stole the base. A rather odd play back in the second. Curveball misses up just a bit, I would imagine. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's 1 for 1 with a double. Johnson out of the University of Miami and teammates with the Florida Marlins. When Charles Johnson was drafted out of Miami, they meaning the experts in the draft nicks, considered him the top prospect at that position. Tremendous defensive skills, and his offense has really come around. Drills this one down the left field line, and it's off the top of the wall. Anderson plays it perfectly, holds Johnson to a single. That ball was smoked.
Johnson really hitting right-handers extremely well, but you know, you can't just throw all fastballs, but why are we throwing a lot of breaking balls? And here's the hangers. First couple ones were down, no offering at it. There's the plane that carry him perfectly, and a strong throwing arm. And this is where I think a lot of pitchers have lost the art of learning how to throw fastballs that are down in the zone on both sides of the plate. You know, they're throwing it there, but they look like a change up there, but trying to, you know, to nitpick, and you're pitching always behind in the count.
Here's Sweeney. Chance at a double play. That's one. Safe at first. Close play, and Sweeney gets the call as he is safe, hustling down that first base line.
Well, it really wasn't hit, you know, hard enough with a hustling first baseman coming down the line. And Charles Johnson, like a lot of guys today, they feel like, why run into an error? But not running hard, and then as soon as he's a big bodied guy, and as soon as the play was there at second base, he just completely got out of the base path rather than forcing the shortstop to make an errant throw.
Ball and no strikes on Matt Holliday. Let's see if they can turn 2 here. That's one. Double play. Thank you very much. Bottom of the 4th is coming up here in St. Louis. We're at Busch Stadium. You're watching Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Net. The Aflac trivia question tonight as we move to the bottom of the 4th. Name the 3 players in Rockies history to lead the league in slugging percentage. Castilla, Burks, Galarraga, Todd Helton,
Or Larry Walker. I mean, you know, how about Preston Wilson?
Preston Wilson, yep.
I mean, they got some offense. You don't put any pitching numbers up there, but you know,
Yeah.
batting average, slugging percentage, things like that, you could put up there.
That could be a Hungo Award winner in the making.
What was it? What was it?
That young lad. As Renteria digs in.
Where's his mustache? He's very shy like me.
Very much so. 1 ball, 1 strike on Edgar Renteria with the Cardinals up by 8 runs. It's 11-3.
It's already funny that I've had several people ask for one. You got to earn them.
You have not given out guidelines, though. You're misleading our viewers.
I haven't thought of them yet.
I need guidelines to pass along to our faithful at home. That's the key, Al.
Okay.
There's a 2-1 pitch. 3-1 as Facero stares back into the home plate umpire, Mike DeMuro. Renteria, Anderson, and Mike Matheny for the Cardinals. Here's a 3-1 pitch. And a walk. Denny Stark went 2 1/3, 11 runs allowed, 8 of those were earned, 9 hits, 1 walk. He struck out 2, 69 pitches on the night. You know, Denny Stark is not smiling. Matt Morris is, as we play here in the 4th. Here's Marlon Anderson. Solo home run back in the 3rd. First pitch to Marlon, playing left field tonight.
Somebody could be a candidate. Anthony Simikaitis. Congratulations to Tony and Christine on the birth of their son. 8 pounds 3 ounces, 21 inches long, born yesterday.
A base hit into left center. First 2 have reached.
So the Simikaitis is who work here in the Cardinals, and good people.
Our Aflac trivia question concerning the Rockies and all the offense. Aflac! Here it is again for you folks. 3 players in Rockies history to lead the league in slugging percentage. Dante Bichette, somebody I don't think we did mention, Ellis Burks, and Larry Walker. Larry Walker is hurt. Groin injury. He's not even on the trip. Preston Wilson will have surgery on his knee Monday morning. And here is Mike Matheny, first and second, nobody out, with Matt Morris waiting on deck. I've got a Hungo Award winner. I've got him.
Really?
Our buddy Roman Davis. Saw him at the ballpark last year. He sent a picture along here to the stadium. And Roman, hope you're doing well. We can't wait to see you here at the ballpark. That's a double play. 6-4-3 as Matheny grounds out. That brings up Matt Morris. Roman Davis is one tough customer, and he's hanging in there, and we can't wait to see him here at Busch. Here's Morris with 2 outs. Cardinals an 11-hit attack, and they lead it 11-3.
Matt probably has mixed emotions. He wants to contribute offensively, but wants to get on the mound.
Morris hits this one into left. Holliday backing up, and he's got it. The Cardinals are done. They strand a man. They have left 4 on the night. They lead it 11-3. The anticipated Hungo Award, 11-3 Cardinals, as we welcome you inside our broadcast booth. And I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed in this award, and I'll tell you why. When I look at this, it's friendly. It's nice. It's not menacing.
Look at the eyeballs.
The eyeballs look like every other bobblehead I've ever seen.
Oh.
That thing, that's not menacing, Al. That's a nice bobblehead. That is not you.
It's going to be very interesting because my copyright and patented attorneys are wanting to talk to everybody about the Hungo and the Mad Hungarian. And the Cardinals want to talk about the uniform without Major League Baseball approval. But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Somebody will be in trouble.
Quite hefty in this uniform, too, I've noticed.
I noticed. Joe Torre appreciated the physique. Mark McGuire would be proud of my forearms.
Yes, he would. I've got to tell you, you're a little rotund here in this uniform.
Well,
sit-ups were not part of the regiment in 1970. I
don't think they really took it from natural photograph, other than the hair.
The hair
and
is,
mustache.
that's a good likeness for you.
Authentic.
I like it, though. Now, how come it took over a year to get the Hungo Award when I've been begging for a bobblehead for the last year and a half?
See,
You know that.
I know you have. You were the one that created this monster.
Did Joe bring this up with you during a telecast that I was begging for a Hungo giveaway? And now we finally have it as Pissarro strikes out.
He was ready to hit an 8-run home run, tie this game up.
And now it brings in Luis Gonzalez, who is 0 for 2. He is lined out and struck out.
I don't think Joe was aware of your passion for the Hungo bobblehead.
And it was a passion, let me tell you. Only the best for you, Al. I'm watching out for you.
Thank you, Doug.
And that Doug comment is for our commentator spot that pops up during an 11-3 game when we mindlessly chit-chat about nothing about the game, but we do talk about the Hungo Award. That's Doug's way of saying hello. 2 strikes now on Gonzalez. Now we have all kinds of time. It's only the 5th inning.
I know. I was wondering if we have to go ahead and give this award out if it goes past midnight.
Well, I would say that you have at least 2 innings to start coming up with some candidates. That's a broken bat. That is also a fair ball. Good play by Pujols. There's Morris covering over at first for the 2nd out.
Albert Pujols, you're always going to get the effort from it. You know, just a tremendous hitter, but people are going to really appreciate his defensive skills. Right over the bag, nice little flip, pitcher covering. Do that in spring training, and some guys forget about it.
Here is Royce Clayton. I'm slap happy, Al. I was on a red-eye flight from San Jose last night, dejected like many of our Blues fans. The Blues lost in 5 games last night.
Danny, you know me. No one was more disappointed than I.
I know this. Now you have to actually work this summer. And the Mad Hungarian experience heard only on Fan Sports 590 here in St. Louis. And what an experience it can be. 1-2 the count on Royce Clayton. Royce was with Milwaukee last year. A couple of years with the St. Louis Cardinals. Back in '96. Breaking ball and a strikeout at plate. Good pitch by Matt Morris. 4 strikeouts on the night. Cardinals in control this one, 11-3. About hit Colorado 11-4. They lead it 11-3. This was a hanger from Matt Morris, but Charles Johnson made him pay it. But last inning, he buries a good curveball here.
Well, just a difference of staying on top of it. And there you see the 12-6. It's out away from him rather than a frisbee on the inner half. Still got to hit it. Charles Johnson, give him credit, but Matt will tell you the one to Clayton was much better.
There's Tony Womack, been on base 3 times tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. A leadoff home run for Womack. 7th time he's done that in his career. Doubled and scored in the 2nd. Walked and stole a base in the 3rd. What a pleasant surprise. We say it time and again, but what a pleasant surprise he has been for the Cardinals. I'm sure Boston is disappointed in the fact that they allowed him to be available in a trade with the Cardinals with the injury to Nomar Garciaparra. And Womack has been outstanding at the top of the order.
Their thinking was that because of the Tommy John surgery last October, he wouldn't be available until May.
Breaks his bat, little looper. 4th time he's been on base tonight. And it brings in Reggie Sanders, and Reggie has had a big night with a pair of home runs.
Well, Tony Womack only lacks the triple, and it looked like he was going to get that in his 2nd plate appearance, but he had to settle for the double with Matt Morris running in front of him. Kind of throws the bat at it, so a home run, double, a walk, stolen base, a single. He's already scored 3 runs. Quite a night, and so is Mr. Sanders, having one just like it.
4 home runs now on the season and 12 RBIs. 2 home runs tonight. Sanders was up there hacking and pops it foul and out of play.
Tony Womack could get into Hungo competition as well as Reggie Sanders.
Are we doing this every night? The Hungo?
I think just Fridays.
Just Friday broadcast.
That's what I've been. Oh, a couple Saturdays.
Okay, a couple Saturdays as well.
Oh.
Strike on Reggie Sanders. Pujols waiting.
We have a Saturday. See, how can I give you the criteria when I don't even know when we're giving it out? But if we have if our broadcast week ends on Friday, we'll give it out on Friday. If it ends on a Saturday night, we'll give it Saturday night.
Easy enough. Now we're well on our way to setting some parameters with the Hungo Award.
It is eligible for fans, players.
1-2 the count on Sanders.
Think umpires could get involved?
No.
Not backup catchers that throw knuckleballs?
Yes.
Possible.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Sanders feast or famine tonight. A pair of home runs, a pair of strikeouts. Here's Albert Pujols. Houston is leading their game over Milwaukee. That is moving to the 6th, 1-0. Florida and Atlanta are tied at 4.
I'm going to say Albert was the first man that Jeff faced. He got a base hit through the left side. Jeff's done a nice job coming in, contain some of the damage. A little frustrated. Just a 300 average.
Two balls and no strikes on Pujols. Lucero misses in. 3-0 now with Edmonds on deck. Be disciplined, right?
Well, be disciplined in a game like this.
Walk to Pujols. Mark McGuire Day is part of our What's on Tap, brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, it'll be on the WB with Bob Carpenter and Ricky Horton. What's on Tap, brought to you by Budweiser. Big Mac back in St. Louis. Here's Edmonds with 2 runners on. First and second, 1 out. Tony Womack been on base 4 times. He's at second. Pujols is on base for the 4th time as well. Here's Edmonds. Our next Fox telecast will be next week on the road, following the games this weekend on the WB. Two balls and no strikes on Edmonds. Scott Rowland waiting on deck. 2-0 the count on Edmonds with 1 out. 11-3 St. Louis. Clunker hit to the right side and a foul ball. 2-1. Edmonds tonight singled and scored in the first. Sacrifice fly. RBI in the second and struck out with a man on in the third. See if Jimmy can make Becerra pay. It's pulled foul. Jimmy was trying to clear up some comments about the team being fatigued during batting practice today, Al.
Yes, when this time I was on the radio to get further clarification.
A lot of mention of what he had to say. Some post-game interviews the other night, and a swing and a miss. And the second time that Edmonds has struck out against Becerra. 2 down, and here comes Rowland.
Scott Rowland maybe can pick him up.
Shall we clarify for Jim?
Go ahead.
Well, apparently he thought the comments that he said about the team being run down and tired were taken a little out of context. And he just was trying to say, hey, it's a long season, a lot of games up front. Could have been a little run down, but we're not physically totally fatigued for the rest of the season.
Some of it, and was more critical of some of the television sound bites on news channels.
0-2 the count on Scott Rowland. No balls, 2 strikes on Rowland. As he steps out, Renteria waiting on deck. Scotty can extend the inning. 11-3 Cardinals. That one bounces in front of the plate. Johnson couldn't block it. The runners advance to second and third. Womack to third. Pujols to second. Some activity now in the Colorado bullpen.
Turk Wendell, another veteran down there in the pen. There's Turk. What happened to his necklace of whatever they were?
Shark teeth.
Shark teeth? They're bear claws or something.
Rowland pops it up. Shallow center. Second baseman wants it. And Gonzalez has got it. The Cardinals strand 2. 11-3. We head to the 6th. Let's welcome back on a gorgeous night for baseball. 11-3 Cardinals. 12-hit attack. And Todd Helton will lead things off for the Rockies here in the 6th. A home run on a 2-2 pitch to put the Rockies on top. A short-lived lead back in the first. He also walked and scored in the third. And this one is hit high in the air to deep right field. Sanders is back near the wall, and he's got it. 1 pitch and 1 out.
That's the way to do it. And I think that's one of the things that Matt has learned is if he can get rid of hitters in 1 or 2 pitches, keep you around a little longer, keep that pitch count down.
Here's Vinny Castilla. 286 on the season. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Home run in this game back in the third. He was part of some of those great hitting teams in Colorado, and they brought him back for the second time last year with Atlanta. Ellis Burks, Dante Bichette, Andres Galarraga, Larry Walker, now Todd Helton, Preston Wilson. Scott Rowland is there. 2 down.
Hey, Danny. Travis Daniels, that name mean anything to you?
I'm sure it will once you remind me.
Well, that's our big fan from Jasper, Arkansas, trying to win the Hungo Award.
Oh, no. This is a letter.
Yes, it's a letter from
Travis
Elvis
Daniels. It is out there. He's here.
He's here.
Please, I could be on TV. And say hello to my dad, Ronnie Daniels. Well, he is dressed as Elvis, and he was, and probably still is, sitting in Homer's Landing. That would probably nail it down to Travis Daniels. Three 0 the count on Burnitz, with 2 outs and nobody on.
Sometimes it's hard to judge a guy when a performance like tonight, when you get so many runs, you're kind of fighting to try and stay on top of your game. Not that you're bored, because you got to pitch as if it's a 1-0 contest, but you're sitting through long innings, and there are times when a pitcher says, you know, he wants his offense to stop. I've got enough.
Here's Johnson, well hit to the opposite field. Sanders back near the wall. Second time in this inning. Tracks it down by that 372 sign. Morris is through 6. Renteria to higher standards. The Cardinals offense. It started with Tony Womack. 4 home runs on the night. 2 by Sanders. This club has been pounding the baseball. 12 hits on the night. They have out-hit the Rockies 12-4. Sanders the big night. And that's our Bank of America higher standards. Unfortunately, that gentleman has been reading and missed all those hits, Al.
That's a good book.
Must be. It's that 75-pounder that is out there now on Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I saw that $7,500.
Call to the bullpen brought to you by the official hotel of Cardinal Broadcast on Fox Sports Net. Turk Wendell living in Colorado Springs, and the Rockies signed him up, and he has given up the long ball so far this year.
I was told that his velocity is really down. He used to be an outstanding setup man. He was a little eccentric in some of his mound antics when he first came up. But say his velocity is down quite a bit.
Rene Reyes takes over in center. Here's Renteria. That's a strike. New right fielder as well. Kit Pello takes over in right. 2-0 pitch to Renteria. So all kinds of changes for Clint Hurdle.
Sweeney's now playing first base.
The 3-0 pitch. Now it's 3-1. Cardinals with a lead of 11-3. 12-hit attack. Only 4 hits allowed by Matt Morris. Catches the outside corner. Full count on the Cardinals shortstop. There's Mr. Sweeney, as you mentioned. Mark Sweeney moving from right to first base defensively for Colorado. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Just missed outside.
And the veteran American leaguer Denny Hockey has moved to third base.
Come to the ballpark, sometimes you scrape your knee out, maybe an elbow, trying to find a cotton candy vendor, maybe a foul ball of some sort. It'd be dangerous. Looks like the knee may have been scraped up a bit. You apply the Band-Aid, you get back to work. That is a possible Hungo Award right there. He doesn't want any help.
No.
He'll do it himself. That's a base hit into right for Marlon Anderson. It's things like that, Al, that you have to be watching out for. He's got all the right colors on. He's got the hat, he's got the jersey. Now he's set to go.
Can we order our next game to be a 3-1 game?
That is the beauty, Al, of baseball. We have said it time and again.
Oh, I didn't mean time factor. It just keeps us talking about baseball.
Swing and a miss by Matheny. Mike is 1 for 3 tonight.
Turk Wendell used to be a lot of just slider on after slider.
Like that. 0-2 the count on the Cardinal catcher.
Said his velocity is really down on his fastball, but he's throwing a couple harder tonight than they ever said he could.
Two runners on, nobody out. Check swing, did he hold up? And he did. He got Matt Morris on deck, Al, with 85 pitches thrown. He threw 93 in a complete game in his last start. You maybe get one more inning out of Matt. No need to push him with the lead of 11-3. Cardinals won his last game 10-2.
Got a couple guys in that bullpen. The ball gets away from Charles Johnson. Got a couple guys in that bullpen that need to kind of get their game straightened out.
This might be the perfect game if the score stays the same, if not more, of a lead for the Cardinals for Simon Tachi. He has struggled in the first couple of weeks. I think before it's all said and done, the bullpen will be a strength of this team. Do you agree?
Yes. There's a lot more depth down there. Last delivery was ruled a pass ball. Charge against Charles Johnson.
2-2 pitch. Matheny pops it up on the infield. That's the first out. Escape the rookie in the Ford SUV lineup, now with a no-cost GPS system, so you can find your way to Busch Stadium. Only at your quality Ford stores, your home run to Cardinal baseball fun. (11-3) Cardinals. Here's Morris. Knees buckled a bit for strike one.
Infield in. 8-run lead, trying to protect a little nubber.
2 strikes. Morris has singled and scored, sacrifice and fly to left.
Even in Colorado, I don't think it would be proper baseball to drop down a bunt in an 11-3 game, even though it's still early.
Infield is drawn in. The 0-2 pitch. We had some fireworks last year early on in Colorado. Gabe Kapler at that time was with the Rockies, you might remember, Al. And he and Scott Rowland exchanged some words at third base.
I mean, if you tried to do something like that to the Rockies now.
Up the middle, that's a base hit. Morris helping himself. An RBI base hit for Matt Morris, his second hit tonight.
Turk Wendell tried to charge a line drive, almost ate it. Watch this ball lined right back up the middle. And it was to his bare hand side. Get a good look at it right here. Hanging breaking ball right back up there. Tries to barehand it. And probably fortunate that it went through. Competitor, he wanted to stop it any way he could.
Tony Womack, a triple away from the cycle. That one may have crossed up Charles Johnson, or he just may have flat out missed it, boxed it a bit. But no damage done, as Morris is the runner at first. And Marlon Anderson is the runner at third base. First and third with one out. Room in right center for Womack.
Juan Pierre,
fairly shallow as well.
He's a very popular guy in Florida. And part of that exchange with Florida Marlins.
Womack slaps it foul, 2 balls and a strike.
And I'm not sure who gets to pay for Hampton. Colorado and Florida, I think.
Florida the chunk of that. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Womack slaps it just foul.
Wow.
Not by much. 2-2. Tony tonight a home run. Doubled and scored in the second. Walked in, stole a base, and scored in the third. Single in the fifth. Only into 6. He could have a couple cracks at that triple.
And the Hungo Award. Good for the cycle.
That's an automatic.
I don't know. I don't know if it'd be an automatic, but
I'm saying it right here, Al. It's an automatic.
Might put him in the lead, though.
The 3-2 pitch. Womack hits it into right field. A run will score. That's Marlon Anderson. Another RBI for Tony Womack. Coming up after the game, the Midwest Sports Report. We will have a complete rundown of this contest as the Cardinals are in control here, 13-3. What might the Rams do? Mike Martz is here at the ballpark. Also, Ann Carroll will have a live guest with us afterwards. It's the Midwest Sports Report. The Hungo Award will be awarded in our postseason. Spectacular. And then also, oh yeah, we've expanded the award. We're going to have one winner in the postseason. We take all the winners we have throughout the season and then give one postseason award for the Hungo Award.
I get to go live with that family for
that would
the
not
winner?
be an award.
Oh,
punishment.
Punishment.
Cardinals up by 10 runs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Reggie Sanders.
And Earl, some days all you can do is kind of smile a little bit.
Reggie, a big night with a pair of home runs. Also struck out twice.
I could drive Womack's Lamborghini, for a Hungo Award.
Take it for a little spin.
For about next 4 years.
Reggie hits it sharply to short, eats up Royce Clayton and into left. Mentioned that the Rockies came into the game with no errors. Only team in Major League Baseball with no errors prior to the ball game tonight. They made 2 early on and have not looked sharp this evening.
On a lopsided game like this, there's no sense of getting eaten up. And plays a little bit to the side. It's a base hit and through. Womack, Sanders now 2 home runs and a single.
And it brings up Pujols with an RBI situation and with runners on. Albert tonight walked and scored, reached on an air, singled back in the third, walked in the fifth. Pops it up a mile high. Pujols strands a couple. Cardinals add to their lead, 13-3. If you would like to win Cardinals tickets and participate in the Southwest Airlines Family of the Game promotion during a Cardinals home game, here's your chance. Send your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines Family of the Game, P.O. Box 771192, St. Louis, Missouri 63177, and good luck from Southwest Airlines. Rather humid tonight at the start of this ball game, Al. The ball has been jumping all over the ballpark. You think maybe about a cold, frosty Bud Light, Al?
Oh, I would think that's the guys in the trucks trying to send subliminal messages.
Mark Sweeney is the batter, 0 for 2. He's had a nice career, hasn't he, Mark Sweeney?
Well, I think he would tell you that he would like to have had more time in the big leagues, but he's a survivor. He's worked hard. He's had to battle back to the major leagues, and it's starting to pay off.
Two balls and a strike. Pitch before that last one. We're going to show you that momentarily. It looked like Sweeney was trying to call time.
Well, you can call time, but it has to be granted by the home plate umpire. So just because you want to call time, and Mark did the right thing, stayed in there and didn't walk out and give away the pitch.
Spins away from ball 3 and a full count. More Morris quickly with the full count delivery, and that is a fair ball knocked down by Pujols. Morris is there. Out. As he touches the bag. That's the first out as we start play here in the 7th.
Well, you got to appreciate Sweeney running as hard as possible and making that a close play. And
almost looked like Morris missed the bag initially.
Well, you know, a lot of times you will get that ball, and Albert had a little stumble with it, but you'll run parallel to the line, and you have to judge the running speed of the batter. You know, if somebody is really one of the fastest guys, you've got to go right to the bag, hit it, and then push off.
There's a chance for Renteria. Holliday is retired for out number 2. Morris has allowed just 4 hits. 2 of those being home runs, and that's where they picked up their runs on the night. 93 pitches, and you would figure, I think, Al, that this would be the final inning of work for Morris in a game that is in control by St. Louis, up by 10 runs. You don't need to push him early on.
Well, I agree 100%, Danny, and there's guys down there in the bullpen that need some work. Obviously, some of our rough outings from the pen have been that a couple guys didn't pitch for about a week. I think it's very difficult to keep 12 pitchers sharp, 7 relievers sharp, and if you don't use them in spots like this, then, you know,
why carry 12?
Why carry 12 is exactly right, especially when you're playing with, you know, a limited bench.
Yep. 2-0 is the count. That one is pulled foul by Kit Hello. Dave Duncan and Tony La Russa watching very carefully. And they said this during the offseason now. They thought that Morris being pushed early on last year really curtailed what he could do for the remainder of the season. So it's a game like this, you're up by 10 runs as Pello jumps on this one, hanging breaking ball, and that is gone. Wow, he crushed that. A 2-1 delivery, 3rd home run allowed by Matt Morris.
Well, last year in St. Louis, Kit went 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs. Those 3 RBIs were a career high. He started 5 games this year, all in left field. He's kind of a jack of all trades, naturally a corner infielder and outfielder, but he can also catch. And we saw that he can hit the ball pretty well.
Yep. Here's Luis Gonzalez back to the top of the order for Colorado. 13-4 St. Louis with 2 outs, nobody on in the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pulled to Scott Rowland. Strong throw over to Pujols. Pello gets the home run to make it 13-4. Bottom of the 7th, 13-4. Cardinals leading the Colorado Rockies in game 1 of this 3-game series. This season you could win a Hyundai Santa Fe, the long drive inning sweepstakes. Watch Cardinals telecast for details coming soon to your St. Louis area Hyundai dealers. Reggie Sanders, a pair of home runs tonight. Here's Edmonds with 2 home runs on the year against Turk Wendell. His 2nd inning of work. Cardinals do have a right-hander throwing now in the bullpen. Hector Luna has moved to the on-deck circle for St. Louis.
Jason Isringhouse.
He needs some work. No balls and 2 strikes. Gordy McKay is also getting loose in that Cardinal dugout. I'm sure we'll see him before the night is through. No balls, 2 strikes on Edmonds. Cardinals have exploded offensively. 15 hits on the night. 4 runs in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd, and 2 in the 6th. 1-2 the count on Edmonds. Jimmy with an RBI and a run scored tonight. That ball gets away from Wendell. 2-2. Cubbies win today over Cincinnati 11-10 at Wrigley Field.
Got a good one in Houston.
Astros leading Milwaukee 2-0. Just missed outside to Edmonds. Full count delivery coming up here. The 3-2 to Edmonds. Swing and a miss. Want to enjoy Cardinals premium area? Well, you don't have a big group? Check out Power Alley, the Cardinals' most popular in-game picnic area. Includes a 2-hour all-you-can-eat buffet plus unlimited beer and soda. 425-0600 today for Power Alley. Unlimited beer and soda. 425-0600.
4 more home runs for the Cardinals today. They might start issuing hard hats in Power Alley.
They've got him up in Big Mac land still. Mark McGuire will be here tomorrow. Still some tickets available. Here's Hector Luna. You've seen him now in a little bit of major league action. What's your impression thus far of Hector Luna? I know it's tough with only 9 at bats, but what have you seen?
Well, obviously there's a lot of talent here, and too much just to give him away as a Rule 5 and offering back to Cleveland. Now, if you could work a trade and send him to the minor leagues, it would probably be to his best of his development. But you sure wouldn't want to offer him back because he could be important to the club. You only have to keep him in the big leagues this year. You could see how he does, and then you could send him to AAA next year. You know what? He's played in AA a year ago and hit right around 300.
You and Joe discussed what happened to Miguel Mejia.
Not really, but that was the last Rule 5 player. I mean, Miguel Mejia had one asset, and that was speed, but he couldn't get on first base. Now, he could play a little defense for you, but he was out there to try and, steal a base at times, and then sometimes his judgment wasn't very good at that either.
Went back in '96, I think, with Mejia.
5 or 6.
This is Cody McKay.
96.
2 balls and 1 strike on Cody. Still looking for his first hit.
Oakland had Herb Washington, who was a track star, and they made him kind of a specialty guy, and they bring him in to pinch run, but he really didn't have the baseball instinct, so all the pitchers would do was throw over, and if he didn't run on the first pitch, they'd throw over again. Didn't run, he'd throw over again, and eventually he would take off and they'd throw him out. They'd pick him off, and because he only had one aspect to his game was to run, and he knew every time he got on, you were supposed to run. Sure. They just pitched out, or they would, step off, and he'd take off on first move, and they'd pick him off.
2-2 pitch to McKay. Check swing. Now full count. Marlon Anderson waiting on deck with 2 outs. Nobody on for McKay. Pulls it past his dad. We'll do it again. Another 3-2 pitch. Cardinals have 15 hits tonight. Popped out of play. Three-two delivery from Turk Wendell. A good battle here with McKay and Wendell. Another foul ball with 2 outs and nobody on. ball again. Isringhausen continuing to loosen up for the Cardinals in the bullpen. 3-2 pitch to McKay. Without a play, foul. Slider after slider here from Wendell to Cody McKay.
Well, Cody's trying to make a lot of fans. He's passing out souvenirs left and right.
Yeah.
But battling up there. And it's either in or away from him.
Pulled foul again.
He's trying to get his dad Dave involved and bounce the ball to his dad so he could give away the souvenir.
11 pitch at bat here for Cody McKay. Come on, Cody. 3-2 pitch from Wendell, and now he stops in the middle of his windup. Wants a new baseball.
Should have hit that one.
Probably would have pulled it.
Looking for his first National League hit. Hey, a slider.
3-2 pitch. Hey, a foul ball. And a nice play made by a fan down there.
Tough guy is Jason Isringhausen. Continues to throw.
McKay. Oh. Robbed by Sweeney. Nice play.
Hit it hard.
We head to the 8th. Good play by Sweeney. Cardinals lead it 13-4. The cast is presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. They may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinal Baseball, a production of Bud Sports, and is an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net.
Well, Jason Isringhausen comes in here with almost a completely new team behind him. He's still throwing to Matheny, and Matheny will throw down to Womack, and Pujols stays in the game, and everybody else shifts. So a lot of the regulars are getting some time out. They'll go around the infield. Cody McKay at third. Bo Hart at shortstop. As I said, Womack and Pujols over at second and first. Outfield is Luna stays in the game in left, so Taguchi in center, and Marlon Anderson moves to right.
Thank you.
Got them all?
I am almost done. Now I am finished. We almost forgot the call to the bullpen, the official hotel of Cardinal broadcast on Fox Sports Net, the Renaissance Grand Hotel. Jason Isringhausen, as Al told you, into the ball game.
He got an inning to work on Wednesday afternoon and gave up only his third home run in his third year here, and I believe to the first right-handed batter in 3 years. So with another off day on Monday, apparently Jason, I would have to think he almost requested this time to work.
Al, he told me when we were in Arizona that he felt his mechanics were a little bit out of whack. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons that you see him out there in this game at 13-4, just to work on the mechanics, fight through whatever problems that he may have, which makes all the sense in the world.
It makes sense. It's
as Clayton picks up a base hit, cut off by Anderson, and Royce is on his way to second.
But it's sometimes difficult for relievers. They have more time to work on things today, where pitching coaches go down there and will work on a little bit before the game, but you're always, you're in a situation where you don't want to throw too much before a game. Now the Cardinals do have the luxury of having Marty Mason, second pitching coach, that stays down the bullpen to work with the relievers.
Here's Reyes, second time that he has stepped in. Our gun had that at 87. The gun here at the ballpark at 91. Playing the runner at second base. Little tapper foul. Reyes apparently will take over for Larry Walker when Walker decides to either exit Colorado or retire. Rene Reyes. Here's the 0-2. Good breaking ball from Isringhausen. Have a note here to wish Greg Mitchell, big Cardinal fan, happy 14th birthday. Also another note for Liz Kylo. Happy birthday to Liz. Turns 28 today. And her family and friends.
Benny Hotking, always a great deal of respect for him. And what a good defensive player. Just a jack of all trades, move around, but good stabilizer on the club.
Good pitch by Isringhausen for strike one.
During Denny's major league career, he's made starts at first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left field, center field, and right field. What hasn't he done?
Houston wins. They hold on against Milwaukee 2-0. That's a terrific breaking ball from Isringhausen. 0-2. So Houston has gotten hot. And it started with their series here in St. Louis.
That was Oswalt tonight.
Fastball misses in. If Clemens can stay healthy and pitch like he did the other night, watch out for Houston. He was fantastic. As good as advertised and picking up win number 312.
That was a 1-0 game after the first inning, and then they didn't get their second run until the 8th. Stopped by Matheny.
2-2 the count.
You know, some catchers in a lopsided game get very lazy. And Mike Matheny, that is a word that you do never associate with Mike. He'll still work hard with his pitching staff and brilliantly at blocking balls in the dirt.
Is he set? The 2-2 pitch. Stairs. Hocking has run this count full now. It was 0-2, now 3-2. Cardinals will have Jason Marquis against Sean Estes tomorrow. Then Woody Williams and Jason Jennings on Sunday. Open date on Monday. Cardinals are looking at Wade Miller, Tim Redding, and Roy Oswalt in that series with Houston next week. 3-2 is pulled. Fair ball. Past Pujols, and Albert's got to run after it. Pair of doubles now in this game, or rather in this inning for Colorado. Hocking picks up the second double and an RBI.
So just right over the bag and hit hard. And look at the hustle by Albert Pujols that, you know, to go out and retrieve that ball after it kicked off the Southwest Airlines side.
First pitch is strike.
Todd Green.
His first career action against St. Louis.
He's got some pop. Kind of an all or nothing. You see, pretty well built, but he has 42 RBIs since the start of 2002, and 24 of those have come via the home run. There's my good buddy, Jamie Quirk. Talked with Jamie before the ball game. Highly touted quarterback out of Southern California. Almost went to Notre Dame on a scholarship, but then signed with the Royals. And Whitey Herzog prolonged his career, making him a third catcher.
Strikeout for Izzy, 2 down. So Green, a catcher as well, strikes out. Hey, Cardinal fans, Sunday, May 2nd, the Cardinals play the Cubs at Six Flags St. Louis Day at the ballpark. All fans with a paid admission receive a coupon good for free admission for all kids 48 inches and under. Six Flags St. Louis Day, Sunday, May 2nd. And the Cards host the Cubs. The strike to Charles Johnson. Johnson is 2 for 3 on the night. Double, a stolen base, also a single mixed in there. Reply to deep right. Hitting .423 to start his year. Hocking is the runner at second base. Fouled back.
9 for 17 off a right-handed pitching to start the year.
Cardinals lead it by the score of 13-5. 15 hit attack for St. Louis. The next to Johnson. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Isringhausen, a couple in the inning. Bottom of the 8th is coming up from Busch. 140 in attendance tonight. Sean Chacon, converted starter to reliever. Was an all-star last year for the Colorado Rockies. He nailed down his second straight save in Monday's 7-4 victory over the Diamondbacks. He's now 2 for 3 in save opportunities. Fox Sports Net across America, the new weekly magazine show that reveals sports' most dramatic stories. It's only here on Fox Sports Net. They'll profile Kurt Schilling. His thoughts on the game of baseball this Sunday at 9, and it's only on Fox Sports Net. Marlon Anderson will lead things off for the Cardinals against Sean Chacon, who was very unhappy with the idea of becoming a closer. Jose Jimenez is now pitching in the American League, and it's Chacon as the closer. First pitch is popped up. Marlon's not one to take a lot of pitches. One pitch, one up.
Doesn't have that extensive of a major league career to be, unhappy, but sometimes you look at your makeup of your ball club and figure he has that type of resilient arm that can help out. It's pretty hard to be successful if you don't want to pitch.
Well, last year he barely even made the team, and then he made the All-Star team.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, he's got a good arm. He's not off to a good start, and that starts between the ears.
Almost hesitates as he comes to the plate. See what I'm saying there as he delivers him a little hiccup.
And then he has the and that really does throw the timing off. And I think, for if you're watching that for 100 pitches, you might be able to time it. But if you're coming in for one inning, that is deceptive.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Mike Matheny. 1-2 in a 13-5 game. Mike is still in there. So Taguchi waiting on deck.
Charles Johnson's still in it. So is Mike Matheny.
Love to see Tony Womack have one more shot at that triple that he needs tonight. With a cycle. He's due up after Taguchi. Waiting patiently in the Cardinal dugout.
Could be the difference maker.
For the Hungo Award. There's a strikeout of Mike Matheny. Hardy's hot pitch of the game. Brought to you by Hardy's. Matt Morris in line for the victory tonight. A couple of curveballs up. Not this one as he buries it and strikes out Royce Clayton earlier tonight. It's our Hardy's hot pitch of the game.
12-6 and down and away. Good pitch.
So Taguchi, 1 RBI on the season, first plate appearance of the night, hitting 200. First pitch he sees is popped up into shallow center, backing up the second baseman. He wants it, he has it. We head to the ninth. 13-5 St. Louis. most part, all St. Louis tonight. As the Cardinals lead it 13-5. Steve Klein, 31-year-old left-hander, will check in the ball game as we get a good look at Cal Eldred's son and his father checking out the ball game tonight. This will be the 5th appearance for Steve Klein this season. Came in with the bases loaded on Monday night against Houston, retired his lone batter that he faced, and that's the last time that we saw number 34 on the mound for the Cards.
I see he, as you mentioned, just a third of an inning on Monday night, so he needs to a little tune-up. Lincoln also pitched in that game on Monday at his last outing, but he pitched an inning and a third, and that was, you know, his second day in a row. It's hard to keep 7 relievers sharp.
Mark Sweeney is the batter. 0 for 3 on the night, hitting .231. Started the ball game in right field, moved to first base. And Sweeney pops it into right, late break. But plenty of time there for Marlon Anderson. Al, I know you are anxiously awaiting the opportunity to give away the award, the Hungo Award. Brent Stover has more.
Thanks. Here's what's coming up after the game on the Busch Light Midwest Sports Report. We'll take your Cardinals phone calls. We'll introduce you to Redbird starter Jason Marquis and bring you our Johnny Max Team of the Week. Now back to Dan and Al.
Matt Holliday is the batter. Fastball in there for a strike. We will award the first time ever, I guess, right?
Well,
technically no.
Technically no, because Joe Buck sent one to Joe Torre. He hand-delivered one to Joe Torre this evening, but that was going because Joe Torre named me Hungo, and he saw our broadcast the other day when we brought it out, and he called up and requested one. So you can't deny an ex-teammate, and you can't deny a rich baseball manager.
19.3 million reasons to come on back and manage for 3 more years in the Bronx.
But
good
nice
play by
stab.
Klein. Wow, what a play. What a play. 2 outs. Tonight's play of the game brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. The Bud Light play of the game early on, Tony Womack. A solo shot to lead this game off for the Cardinals. Tie the ball game up after Todd Helton had put Colorado on the board with a home run. Tony Womack, tonight's Bud Light play of the game.
3 hits for Tony, a walk, stolen base, 3 runs scored, sacrifice fly. There's a candidate.
Kit Pello has a home run in this game, a solo shot. He's 1 for 1. Came into the ball game off the bench tonight. The 0-1 pitch from Klein. This is inside. Two outs, nobody on. We're in the ninth, 13-5 St. Louis. This one is popped up out of play, and now 34,000 plus will rise to their feet with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. If the Cardinals hold on, it looks like they will. They'll move to 5 and 6 on the season. Colorado will drop to 4 and 6. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and now Klein steps off. Midwest Sports Report is coming up. Our coverage doesn't stop after the final out. Pello is now 2 for 2 with a home run. It looks like a double. And it is.
Who is that guy?
Ball hard twice. Luis Gonzalez will step in. Little liner into right. This should do it. Cardinals win it. They take game 1 of this 3-game set. Our final 13-5. Matt Morris is now 2-1 on the season. For Al, I'm Dan. Midwest Sports Report is coming up on Fox Sports Net.